Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pure Bliss Living. I'm your host, Ariana, and I'm so excited to share today's episode with you. We're going to talk about something that touches every single one of us: love. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and it's the perfect time to reflect on all the different facts of love in our lives, from the romantic to the platonic to the most important relationship of all, the one with yourself. We all know Valentine's Day can be a bit polarizing. It can bring up joy for some, and for others, it may feel more complicated. But today, we're going to unpack all that Valentine's Day represents, how it evolved over the centuries, and explore ways to truly embrace love in its many forms. Whether you're in a relationship, single, or just looking to celebrate love in all its manifestations, this episode is for you. So, without further ado, let's dive into the heart of Valentine's Day and explore its meaning in today's world. Before we dive into how to celebrate Valentine's Day today, let's take a moment to reflect on its roots. Its origins stretch back over 2,000 years, and it's fascinating how the holiday has evolved from its ancient beginnings into the global phenomenon we know today. Valentine's Day originally came from the Roman festival of Lupercalia, held annually on February 15th. It was a wild, boisterous festival dedicated to fertility, love, and purification, celebrated by ritual of animal sacrifices and the pairing of couples, sometimes even through a sort of lottery system. While it's fun to think of the revelry, Lupercalia was not the romantic holiday we celebrate today. The Christian Church later chose to Christianize the pagan tradition and commemorate Saint Valentine, a priest who lived during the reign of Emperor Claudius II in the 3rd century. The legend goes that Valentine defined the emperor's orders and secretly married couples when the emperor had outlawed marriages for soldiers, believing single men fought better than those with wives and families. As time went on, the story of Saint Valentine intertwined with various customs and rituals, and by the Middle Ages, people began writing love notes and exchanging gifts. It wasn't until the 18th century that Valentine's Day took on its current form in the Western world, becoming a day of romance, a time for lovers to express their affection through cards, flowers, and gifts. Fast forward to today, Valentine's Day has become a multi-billion-dollar industry, with businesses capitalizing on everything from chocolates and jewelry to elaborate date night ideas. Yet, despite the commercialization, the underlying message of Valentine's Day remains the same: to celebrate love in its many forms. Valentine's Day is often seen through the lens of romantic love, but love in reality is so much more than that. It's important to acknowledge the many different forms of love that enrich our lives. The love you have for your family, friends, community, and of course, yourself deserves to be celebrated as well. Alright, let's start now with romantic love, the one we tend to focus on most around Valentine's Day. Romantic love is exhilarating and powerful, and when you share that kind of deep connection with someone, it can feel like nothing else matters. But it's important to remember that romantic love isn't just about passion or infatuation. It's about partnership, mutual respect, and growing together. Healthy romantic relationships are rooted in trust, understanding, and the willingness to compromise. They require nurturing and care. Then we have platonic love, the love we share with our friends. These are the relationships that often go unnoticed, but are some of the most consistent and supportive in our lives. Think about your best friend, the one who's been there through thick and thin. Platonic love is about companionship, loyalty, and shared experiences. On Valentine's Day is the perfect opportunity to show appreciation for the friends who make your life richer and more joyful. Next, there is familial love, the love we share with our parents, siblings, children, and extended family members. It's often the first type of love we experience, and it shapes how we interact with the world. Family love can be unconditional and though sometimes challenging. It's often the foundation of our emotional lives. If you're fortunate enough to have close family bonds, This Valentine's Day is a great time to reach out and express gratitude for that unwavering support. Finally and importantly, there is self love, the most vital form of love. Without self love, it's difficult to fully give and receive love in other areas of life. This Valentine's Day, take a moment to honor yourself, acknowledge your worth, celebrate your accomplishments, and show yourself kindness. Self care, self compassion, and self acceptance are at the core of true love, and it what makes you able to offer genuine love to others. Love is multifaceted, and Valentine's Day offers an opportunity to reflect on and celebrate all of these forms of love. Whether you're sharing a romantic dinner with your partner, sending a text to a friend, or giving yourself a little self care, love is all around us. As we all know, Valentine's Day has become a commercial holiday. And while there is nothing wrong with buying flowers or chocolates to show someone you care, the pressure to prove your love through consumerism can be overwhelming. There is this underlying assumption that if you don't spend a lot of money or go all out, your love somehow isn't enough. And that can be an added stress for people whether they're in a relationship or not. But here's the truth. Valentine's Day is not about how much you spend or how grand your gestures are. It's about meaningful connection. It's about taking a moment to show those you care about that they matter. Some of the gifts are the ones that are heartfelt, personal, and simple. Whether that's writing a love letter, preparing a homemade meal, or planning a thoughtful day together. The key is to navigate the commercial expectations and make the holiday your own. Don't fall into the trap of feeling like you need to keep up with what everyone else is doing. Valentine's Day is an opportunity to set your own intentions, focusing on the type of love you want to celebrate. If you would rather skip the expensive gifts and focus on quality time or thoughtful gestures, that's absolutely valid. When it comes to Valentine's Day gifts, it's easy to get swept up in the idea that you need to buy something expensive. But let's be honest. The best gifts are often those that come from the heart. If you're looking for ideas that go beyond the typical flowers and chocolates, here are some thoughtful and meaningful suggestions that will really show your appreciation. Customized gifts. A piece of customized jewelry, a personalized photo album filled with memories, or a handwritten letter. These gifts show that you took the time to think about the recipient and their uniqueness. Experience-based gifts. Instead of giving something material, plan an experience like a spa day, a weekend getaway, or a cooking class you can enjoy together. These gifts create lasting memories that are far more valuable than anything you can buy in a store. Next gift idea I have is DIY projects. Create something yourself, whether it's a scrapbook, a playlist, or a handmade card. There is a level of thoughtfulness that goes into crafting something with your own hands. Plus, it shows that you're willing to put in effort to make it special. And finally, acts of service. If words or physical gifts aren't your style, sometimes the most meaningful gift is simply offering your time, cooking a meal, doing something thoughtful for the other person, or offering your support in a time of need. These acts speaks volumes. Remember, the goal is not to impress, but to express love in a way that feels authentic to you and your relationship. Let's dive into a bit of science now. Specifically the fascinating connection between love and the brain. Have you ever wondered what happens in your body when you fall in love or even just connected to someone? Well, the brain is very busy when it comes to emotions, and love is no exception. When we experience feelings of affection, attachment, or attraction, several key chemicals and hormones flood our system. Dopamine, often called the feel-good chemical, is released when we experience pleasure or reward. This is why the early stages of love feel so exhilarating, because our brains are constantly rewarding us with dopamine. Oxytocin, known as the bonding hormone, is produced during moments of physical intimacy, like hugging or kissing. It creates feeling of trust, connection, and attachment, which is why it's so important in the early development of romantic relationships and even in parent-child bonds. Endorphins, the body's natural painkillers, also plays a role in love. They create feelings of euphoria and well-being, which is why love can make us feel like we're walking on air. Serotonin affects our mood and emotional stability, and in the context of love, it helps us feel content and secure in our relationships. Understanding the neuroscience of love helps us appreciate just how complex and powerful our emotional connections are. Love isn't just a feeling, it's a biological experience that affects our body and mind in profound ways. Self love has a buzzword for a while now, but it's not just a trend, it's a foundational practice that is essential for emotional and mental well being. Valentine's Day isn't just about loving others, it's also about taking a moment to appreciate yourself. Self love means treating yourself with same compassion, patience, and care that you would offer to a loved one. It's about embracing your uniqueness, acknowledging your worth, and creating a healthy, fulfilling relationship with yourself. It's easy to give love to others, but it's just as important, if not more so, to love and care for yourself. On Valentine's Day, I encourage you to take a step back and reflect on the ways in which you love and care for yourself. Are you nurturing your mental, emotional, and physical health? Are you giving yourself a kindness and understanding you deserve? If not, Valentine's Day is a perfect time to make that shift. Let's explore a few simple practices for enhancing self love. Number one, journaling. Write down your thoughts and feelings. Reflect on what you love about yourself and what makes you feel fulfilled. Mindfulness and meditation. These practices help ground you in the present moment, allowing you to appreciate yourself without judgment. And number three, self care rituals. Whether it's a relaxing bath, a favorite hobby, or a walk in nature, make sure to incorporate activities that rejuvenate and center you. When you love yourself, you create a solid foundation for all other relationships. Self love is the ultimate act of self care. While Valentine's Day is often focused on romantic relationships, I believe it's the perfect opportunity to spread love beyond your inner circle, to share compassion, kindness, and care with the world. When we think of love, we often focus on the people closest to us, but love is something we can share with the broader community, stranger, and even the planet. One simple act of kindness can create a ripple effect, touching lives in ways we may never see. This Valentine's Day, think about ways you can extend love beyond your immediate circle. Here are a few ideas to spread love. Number one, paying it forward. Pay for someone's coffee or meal in a cafe. It's a simple, kind gesture that can brighten someone's day. Volunteering. Spend time helping at a shelter, food bank, or community center. Giving your time to others is one of the most selfless acts of love. And finally, number three, random acts of kindness. Leave a note of encouragement on a stranger's car. Compliment someone, or even simply smile at someone in passing. These small actions can create a ripple of positivity. The beautiful thing about kindness is that it can be shared freely and it costs nothing, but can make all the difference in someone's day. One of the most powerful ways to enhance our relationship is to understand our love languages, the ways we give and receive love. The 5 primary love languages are: number 1, words of affirmation, expressing love through verbal compliments, words of encouragement and affirmation. Number 2, acts of service, doing things for others to show your love, whether it's helping with chores, cooking a meal, or offering assistance. Number 3, receiving gifts, expressing love through thoughtful gifts which serve as tangible symbols of affection. Number 4, quality time, giving someone your full, undivided attention and spending meaningful time together. And lastly, number 5, physical touch, showing love through physical closeness, hugs, kisses, holding hands, and other forms of affectionate touch. Understanding these love languages can make your Valentine's Day celebrations much more meaningful, as you'll know exactly what gestures will make the person feel truly loved. As we look towards the future, Valentine's Day is evolving. With shifting cultural norms and changing attitudes towards romance and love, how will we continue to celebrate this day in the years to come? Will Valentine's Day continue to be a day for couples, or will it become more inclusive of self-love, friendship, and community connections? I believe that the future of Valentine's Day is one of the inclusivity. We'll see more focus on celebrating all forms of love, not just romantic relationships. We'll embrace the love we share with family, friends, colleagues, and even our broader communities. In the future, Valentine's Day might also focus more on giving back, whether it's through acts of kindness, charitable donations, or environmental initiatives. People may see this as a day to express compassion for those who are less fortunate, creating a global community of love and understanding. As we come to the end of today's episode, I want to leave you with one final thought. Valentine's Day isn't just a holiday, it's a reminder to celebrate love in all forms, not just on February 14th, but every day. Love is the driving force behind so much of what we do. It's in our relationships, in our self care, and in how we interact with the world. It's what connects us as humans. Whether you're celebrating with someone special, spending the day practicing self love, or showing kindness to others, remember that love is not confined to one day. It's something we can cultivate and share throughout our lives. Thank you for joining me for this exploration of love, Valentine's Day, and the many ways we can celebrate connection in our lives. I hope today's episode has inspired you to embrace love, whether it's for yourself, others, or the world around you. Until next time, keep living with pure bliss.